Hey, sports fans, this is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes coming on live this morning to do a recap of the week 8 in the college football world. It was a lot of really, really good games. There was some heartbreak. I mean, man, my heart is broken right now as my Longhorns took it on the chin to Georgia. Alabama lost. Man, it was quite a few heartbreaking losses yesterday for some teams. But we're going to go through all of the games that we went through on Thursday, and I'll talk a little bit about those games. And if anyone decides to join the show, they'll just chime in and do as well. They'll talk about the games as well. So first up, we got on Friday night, we had number 2 Oregon 35 at Purdue 0. They shut Purdue out 35 to nothing. Oregon was favored by 27 and a half points in this game. The over and under was 60 and a half, which they didn't get nowhere near that 60 and a half, but Oregon was able to cover. One thing I saw in this game was that Oregon is a really, really good football team. Offensively, they can do a lot of things. They got a nice wide receiver core with Evan Stewart at number 15. I don't know the guy on the other side. And they got a good running back with James and Whittington. And then, of course, Dylan Gabriel, to me, is a Heisman Trophy candidate. And he played really well in that game. And he showed that he could lead Oregon to the national championship. So teams in the Big Ten should be worried about Oregon because they have a really solid football team. And they've been playing without their best defensive player, the defensive end that they had that's been out for the last 2 games. And once he comes back, he's going to really help that defense even be even better. So Oregon, it was surprising that they were able to shut out Purdue. I thought Purdue ran the ball pretty well on them and would be able to score some points, but they didn't do so. Next up, we had Oklahoma State 35 at number 13, BYU 38. BYU won this game by 3, even though they was favored by 10. And the over and under was 55 and a half. They covered that over and under. Oklahoma State was a team that I wrote off long ago because once they started losing games that I thought they should have won, I figured they weren't a good team. But they had a really good showing against BYU on Friday night and almost pulled out the victory. I thought for sure that they was going to be able to get that win the way they were playing, but BYU came down, and I think in the last 10 seconds and won that game. Kudos to BYU. They stay undefeated. They had a good running attack in that game. I think they had a player that was over 100 yards and another player that had over 80 yards rushing. And Oklahoma State ran the ball as well. Ollie Gordon got 100 yards, and they had another running back that had over 75 yards. Their quarterbacks didn't do so well. They didn't have no big numbers. But overall, it was a really good game, and they did go over a 55 and a half in that game. The next game was Auburn 19 at 19 Mississippi State, who had 21. This game was really, really good. And I thought for sure that Auburn was going to be able to win this game. They were up. This game score might have been 17 to 21. I think I punched that in wrong. Yeah, that score 17 to 21. Missouri won that game. But Auburn was up by 14 points. And I really thought that they were going to win that game. I said it on Thursday that I thought Auburn could beat them, and they were doing it until they didn't do it. What's up, niece? It's good to see that you are on the show. I'm going to get into that later on, but niece, Georgia beat up on my Texas Longhorns last night. They was too physical for us on the offensive line and the defensive line, and they had Quinn Ewers thoroughly confused. He didn't play well, but, you know what happens when a team come in there and punch you in your mouth, especially when you think you're better than what you really are. And I think that's how it went for my Texas Longhorns last night, niece. But hopefully we get a chance to play them again in the SEC championship game and we get a different outcome. But I'm going to talk about that later on in the show if you're still on. Next up, we got number 6 Miami 52 at Louisville 45. I thought Louisville was going to be able to get this win against Miami because they came storming back. What's up, cuz?
What's good, cuz?
I got my man Hot Hands Howard on the show. How you feeling today?
Man, I'm up early. Had to get a friend to work this morning because and all the streets was blocked off, so I didn't know what was going on. And come to find out, they had a marathon going on. So I said I might as well stay up because I can't get home no time soon. So
okay, yeah.
But I'm great, man. Got my coffee. I'm ready to talk some sports, man. So it is what it is.
Cool. Man. Did you get a chance to catch any of that number 6 Miami at Louisville game yesterday?
No, man, I ain't even got to see the highlights. I heard it was a real exciting game. I watched the Texas game. That was I thought they was going to make a move to come back, but no, I didn't get to see any of that Miami one. What went down with that one? I actually seen the highlights of them winning at the last second. Miami did, right?
They ended up, not in the last seconds, but yeah, they scored a touchdown towards the end of that game to pull it out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. It looked like it's a lot of highlights I didn't get to really look at. I was actually at the casino last night watching everything as it unfolded. I watched, I'm into baseball now here lately, so that Yankees game was real exciting. I know you might not probably follow the baseball like that, but man, it was something to watch.
Yeah, once my Astros went out in that first round of the playoffs in that wild card slot, I said I ain't watching no more baseball, man. Yeah. But in that Miami game, man, Cam Ward really solidified himself as one of those Heisman Trophy candidates, man. He was slinging that. He was really their only chance of winning that game, man.
Okay.
That cat was throwing the ball all over the field. So when you get a chance to watch those highlights, check him out, man.
Okay.
It was a good game, though.
Okay. Yeah, I heard about that kid. I heard he was nice. So yeah,
Yeah. The way Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers played, Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, man, they solidifying themselves as probably some of the top picks in the NFL draft if those organizations look at them that way.
Okay. What else?
We got Nebraska 7 at number 16, Indiana. Indiana's dropped 56 on Nebraska.
Yeah.
Man, they beat the snot out of there, man. Did you catch any of that?
I seen that final score. It was so much going on. I'm trying to think. The main games I really followed yesterday were Colorado. I don't understand how they wasn't favored to win that one because they dismantled.
Arizona. Arizona, yeah.
If you caught any of that, that was a good one. And let me see who else. The Michigan game, Illinois was nice. And who else? In the final game, like the Georgia-Texas game, that was the main one. Those are the main games I followed yesterday, man. So
yeah, we're gonna get to all of those later on in the show.
Okay.
But I'm glad you got to check those out, so that way I can have somebody that can give me a different perspective than what I saw in those games as well.
Yeah. Okay. I got you.
But Nebraska, I thought they were better than what they were, but Indiana showed them, man, that listen, you better come physical in this Big Ten or you ain't got a chance, man.
Yeah. And Indiana surprised me. Man.
Yeah. I didn't know they got all these guys out of the freaking portal, man. Their whole team is almost out of the portal.
Yeah.
They lost it up.
They spent money.
Yeah. And they got a bunch of power or group of 5 school players who got a lot of experience that then played 3 or 4 years of football, and then they go and play at the Power 4 level, man, and they didn't play so much football they got that experience and they're playing really well right now.
Yes, indeed, man. You know, my team had a bye, so I figured I'd work. You know, it's Sunday morning. I'm getting ready for the night, so I got my Steelers gear on. So, you know, pardon that. I know.
Oh no, you good, you good. I normally would have had my Titans gear on, but I ain't too happy about my Titans or my Texas Longhorns right now.
What's up with Mossberg and Poe, Hot Hand, well, Parlay Poe? What talk to them?
I put it in the thread, but they didn't jump on. I think Mossberg, he had to work this morning,
Okay.
so I think he works on Sunday morning, so he won't be able to make it on. And then Todd Claiborne, he's out of town in South Carolina. He went to go see his daughter play yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so
let me ask you this. So the score of the Indiana game was 56-7?
56-7, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they put it on Nebraska, man.
That's major.
Yeah.
Major, yeah.
Yeah, that's major, especially when we thought Nebraska was going to be a team that could compete in the Big Ten this year. But the way Indiana did them and the way Illinois did them, I don't. Yeah, they're not gonna put up no fight for y'all when they play y'all next week. Don't y'all got Nebraska next week?
Yeah, after coming off the bye, yep, Nebraska.
And they got to come to y'all, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Well, they're gonna get a real quick awakening next week. Sorry, Anya, but your boys and Brian Harris, sorry, but your boys gonna get thumped again next week.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
The Buckeyes coming off a loss, so you know they got to redeem themselves too. So, you know, we still in the thick of it. That's all that matters. You know, you want to be 1-12.
Sure. Yeah. So number 7 Alabama had 17, and they lost to number 11 Tennessee, who had 24. Alabama was favored in this game, and of course they didn't do that. And the over and under was 56.5, and they didn't get anywhere near that.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to watch any of that?
Yes, I did. That's another game. Yeah, I did follow that game, and you know, the Milrow kid, man, he doesn't look like he did to me last year. He was a lot better. So I don't know, you know, what's going on with him this year, but teams seem to have him figured out. But Tennessee had a pretty vicious defense from what I could see.
Yeah, they played really well.
You know, maybe just Tennessee's defense is the truth, obviously. So, yeah, I definitely watched that. I was on SEC watch yesterday, man, and just me looking at it on the outside. The Big Ten, in my opinion, to have a leg up on the SEC now. So there's no SEC is dominant. So hopefully we'll see in the playoff when the time comes. It's not. All these schools to me is on a level playing field now, man, because of the portal. So that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I don't know if Alabama is even gonna probably. It might not even. That'd be crazy for them not to even make it, man, with those 2 losses.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it. That second loss that they got, I think they're gonna take another L, probably to LSU or to one of the other teams that they're gonna play.
Right.
Jalen Milrow, like you said, is really not playing like he played last year, and even like how he played in the beginning of the year. I think teams have figured out that he really don't have the weapons that he normally would have on the outside. He got the young guy. But teams have been able to take advantage of the fact that he's young.
Yep.
Even though he's skilled, they've been able to put a guy over the top and a guy on him one-on-one. Not one-on-one, but, guarding him. And then the guy number 5 on the other side, he hasn't been doing very much. And I think they've taken advantage of that. Plus, their run game isn't that good either without him running the football.
Exactly.
Yeah. In Tennessee, that crowd was ruckus, man. That was like, I was glad they came back and beat Alabama because I don't think Alabama is one of the good SEC teams that even should make the 12-team playoff. Because once they get there, are they really going to be able to do much? You want your teams that's in your conference that's going to make it You want them to do something when they get there. You don't want them to take it on the chin.
Exactly, man. You summed it all up right there.
Yeah,
The rest of the SEC, they've caught up to the Saban era ended. So the new coach is there, and he's having a time, coming from the West Coast style, trying to implement that over in Alabama. I hear a lot of their fans complaining. I'm like, man, well,
yeah,
it's like, you get a guy some time to, try to figure things out. He's not Nick Saban. He's trying to bring his own style to Alabama. So you gotta be patient, basically, you know.
yeah. He's definitely a really good coach, but and like you said, they have to be patient and let him get the type of players that he wants to have in the system that he likes to run, and they got to let him get time. Those some of his players, man, they've been so undisciplined, man. They've been doing some crazy stuff, and I'm like, dude, you shouldn't even be on the team after some of the stuff y'all been doing, man.
Yeah, man. The fan base is, it's like they screaming, fire the coach off. I mean, come on.
Right, already, right.
Guys have been spoiled, you know what I'm saying? So relax. It's okay. Everybody got to rebuild sometimes,
Yeah,
so I don't feel sorry for them. I mean, hell, they've had much success. So
right.
it's whatever. I'm hoping my Buckeyes can get to that level. You know what I'm saying? So I envy them, but the fans are just that, fans. Fan that.
Man, right, right, right. Did you get a chance to catch any of that Michigan game? 24 Michigan, they only had 7. At number 22, Illinois. Illinois had 21.
Yeah.
Michigan was actually favored in this game by 3.5, and the
Wow.
over and under was 49.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I see. I turned to it briefly, and once I seen that they were getting handled, I didn't even, stay. Like I said, I was switching back and forth, but I mainly was watching SEC football yesterday. I seen some of the highlights, and Michigan's always saying that they need a quarterback. So I'm like, well, you are the defending national champions. It seemed like anybody would want all the quarterbacks that were in the portal or available. Why didn't you guys go harder to get somebody to fill that need? I'm pretty sure a lot of your kids would have wanted to go to Michigan. You know what I'm saying? But as you know to now, they're trying to get paid. So I don't know if Michigan was trying to pay somebody or if they was trying to just get somebody, that they recruited to come in and take over. And really, I don't, as a Buckeye, I don't care. I'm so glad to see them suffer. You know what I'm saying? And I hope it continues. that's where I'm at. I don't want to see you do well.
Well, but that's your rival. You got the right mindset. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Keep on doing what you're doing, man.
Let me ask you this about them. They're 2 games away from making a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
They're 4-3 right now. Do you think they're going to get those 2 wins to get to a bowl game? I'm trying to pull up their schedule so we can.
Are you talking about Michigan?
Michigan, yeah.
Who they have left? I know they have.
I'm trying to see who they got left. Hold on a second. All right, so they got Michigan State next week. They can beat them.
Where's that?
It's in Michigan though. It's in the big house.
Don't matter. Michigan State probably will. Yeah, I have a cousin that plays for Michigan State. Actually, his name is Nicholas Marsh, number 6.
Yeah. Nicholas can go, man. He's nice.
He had a great game last night. He's definitely circled that game on his calendar. Being that he's from Detroit. and they didn't recruit him heavily, so he has that chip on his shoulder. A lot of the kids in Michigan State, that's the big rivalry in the state. So Michigan could possibly drop that one. Who they got after that?
Then they get Oregon in the big house.
Oh my God.
Then they go to Indiana.
Oh man.
Then they get Northwestern in the big house, and then they get your Buckeyes.
Wow.
Man, they might only win one of those games, bro.
And
They might only win Northwestern. That might be it. And who knows?
Northwestern, they get off the park for them. Wow. But then you think about it though. The Oregon game, they might play above their heads. I've seen it happen. They might play above their heads, man. The style, and they might give Oregon problems. So I won't count that out. I won't count it out, because they might rise to the occasion that day. You never know. That's in Michigan?
The Oregon game is in Michigan, yes.
I don't know. I don't rule nothing out, man, with the way the NCAA is, man. Any given Saturday, like it is in the NFL, any given Sunday. And Michigan is the defending champ, so I don't, you never know. You never know. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna show them a little respect on that part, because it is the Big Ten and Oregon is new to the conference, so Michigan may play above their heads. They did, didn't they beat USC?
Yeah, Michigan beat USC.
Yeah. So I mean, they got USC when they came in there. So you never know. It's all about styles at the end of the day. And I'm pretty sure they got that game circled on their calendar.
Right, for sure. Yeah. Did you get to check into that Notre Dame 31 at Georgia Tech 13?
No, I was actually following that one. I followed that score because I had a parlay going, and I needed Notre Dame to just win. And I was happy because I said Georgia Tech could be a trap game for Notre Dame, but Notre Dame, from what I can see, the last few weeks they've been playing good ball, so they definitely covered. So I was happy about that, but I didn't get to see any highlights of that one yet.
Yeah, I think Georgia Tech jumped out to a 13-0 lead on them, and then they ended up coming back beating them 31-13.
Right.
And I know in yesterday's show, Donnell asked us what games do we think if you was a bettor, which games would you bet on? And I told him I would bet on this game if I was a bettor. I would bet on Notre Dame to cover that 11.5 against Georgia Tech, and of course they did. Not that I'm some scientist when it comes to that gambling thing, but I thought that would be an easy win for sure.
You'd have been spot on had you been a betting man. You would have got your money yesterday on that one.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn a lot more about how it works, though. So who knows? One of these days.
One day you might put a parlay together. You put one together and you hit, you're gonna be caught. You're gonna be like, wow, it's easy.
I'll be hooked, huh?
Trying to tell you, man. Yeah. It's easy. Once you see the turn. That's what happened to me. The first time I played, it was the San Francisco game in 23. And all they wanted me the parlay had me to do was have Christian McCaffrey get 100 rushing and Deebo Samuel to get 100 receiving. I put all my chips on that one, and it paid off handsomely.
Right.
I mean, I'm like, it wasn't nothing special I did. I just said, hey, yeah, they both gonna get 100, and they did. So I'm still here now with house money.
Right. Hey, that's why we call you hot hands.
Well, yeah, but they need to get a little hotter today because I'm definitely going in. Yeah, man.
We got number 14 Texas A&M 34 at Mississippi State 24. I thought that Texas A&M team, man, they lost that first game of the season to what they lose to Notre Dame. Okay. But they've been cooking ever since then, man. They've been playing some really good football. They didn't cover that 15.5,
Right.
and but they did go over that 56.
Right.
But man, they're playing some good ball. I really think that Texas A&M will go undefeated in the SEC until they play Texas the last game of the season. And
Mm-hmm.
who knows? They might pop Texas at that point because it's in College Station, so
Mm-hmm.
they could definitely get us.
Yeah, that's definitely right. That's another rivalry game. So those games you can never rule out anything, and it's in the state of Texas. So you're gonna have, it's gonna be the fans will be split. Even though it's in College Station, it's still in the state of Texas. So
Yeah, for sure.
either way.
Sure. Then we had number 8 LSU 34 at Arkansas. Arkansas only had 10. They played at home. But LSU was only favored by 2 points in this game. And I
Wow.
thought Arkansas would play better, but they thumped Arkansas.
Yeah, from what I heard, Arkansas was playing some good ball, but obviously LSU is it's another SEC team that's to be reckoned with. So that's interesting, man. They got it's like the Big Ten and SEC is like a mirror of each other. They got all these good teams, man, that could do something. So that's gonna be fun. When that playoff is finally done, how many those two conferences put in there, it's gonna be real interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how it goes anyway.
Yeah,
Because I would choose a 3-loss Big Ten team or a 3-loss SEC team over some of those ACC teams or
yeah,
some of those Big 12 teams for sure.
right. Yeah, you're right about that one. Kansas State.
We had number 7 Kansas State, 17 Kansas State, 45 at West Virginia 18. I thought West Virginia was going to play them better than this. They were only Kansas State was only favored by 3.5, and the over
Wow.
and under was 54.5. So they beat the over. But West Virginia, man, I thought they were going to be a lot better. They had 2 home games where they could have solidified their run in the Big 12, and they lost both of them. They got thumped in both of them by Iowa State last week and by Kansas State this week.
Yeah, Iowa State softened them up real nice. And Kansas State came in there and took advantage, it looks like, because it was a home game.
Yeah.
We think they would have been up for that one. Kansas State, I think that's where our transfer quarterback for the Buckeyes, Will Howard, was at last year.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, they beat up on West Virginia.
Wow.
Then we had UCF 35 at number, I think Iowa State is maybe 11, maybe something like that.
Yeah, the number
38.
I seen the highlights of that one at the casino, and UCF actually had that game in hand.
Had it in hand.
And Iowa State put the drive together and came and got it, man. So Iowa State, I ran into some of their fans at last week. Actually, they was at the casino. They said they stopped through because one of the guys' sons plays tight end for Iowa State, and he was a former Iowa Hawkeye. He said he played for the Hawkeyes back in the '90s. He was a tight end himself. He was telling me about his son was the tight end at Iowa State, and that he was. I said, "Well, how did you feel when he chose Iowa State?" He said he felt some kind of way at first, but then after a while, he didn't care. He's just happy for his son to make his decision. But they're playing some good ball. They was on their way to that West Virginia game when I met them in the casino. So they're playing some real good ball. Iowa State, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean, as a tight end, he didn't. Either one of those would have been a good choice. Either Iowa or Iowa State playing the tight end position, that would have been a good choice for you because they both love tight ends and they feature tight ends a lot of times in their offense.
Yes, indeed. He was telling me that Brock.
Oh shit! Oh, there you go. He's back.
Yeah.
There you go. What you saying about Brock Purdy?
Yeah, he was telling me Brock Purdy played for Iowa State in college. And he was just telling me he's a good guy. He knew the whole story on Brock. So I if I go to the casino, I'm just there really just trying to watch the games. But people will come up, random people will come up and just talk to me. Because I guess I got that friendly demeanor when it comes to sports. And a lot of times they think I used to play ball because I'm kind of got a little size on me.
Right.
And we just
Right.
talking, start telling me stuff. It's cool. It's cool though. I enjoy the conversations, man, with random strangers, man. So those guys, salute to Iowa State because they playing some good ball.
Yeah, they sure are. I think they're gonna win the Big 12. If I had to put my money on anybody, I would put it on them right now. I was thinking Colorado, but when they took that L to Kansas State, that might have hurt them. Speaking of Colorado, Colorado 34 at Arizona 7.
And I spoke on that game briefly in the comments yesterday because when I was going through my picks, I seen that game and it had Colorado. They had them as an underdog. Like what? And so I immediately put money on Colorado, and it was a beautiful thing because I made nice money off of that. I'm like, man, that game wasn't even close, man.
Wasn't even close.
So I didn't understand the logic behind the people to handicap. I don't know if they try to trick you or what they're trying to do, but luckily I didn't fall for it.
Yeah, right, yeah. I think that Colorado team, had they not lost to Kansas State, which a game they should have won,
Yeah.
they had a chance to win, they definitely will be in the thick of things. They're definitely the most dangerous team in the Big 12 because they got some talent, man. And I like when they stay in that 11 personnel, one running back, one tight end. They can do a lot more and they can protect Sador Sanders a lot better in that personnel. But they tend to keep going to that 10 personnel with just one running back and no tight end, man. And he be running for his life sometimes.
Yeah. Yes. You pretty much summed it up right there. It's the scheme that they sometimes that they get away from that costs them sometimes. But I think as they keep playing, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with, man. Because they have offensive talent and defensive talent. I like that Travis Hunter kid, man. He's a special talent. And I think they rested him because his shoulder is something's going on with his shoulder, so he didn't even play the second half of that game yesterday.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if he played the whole game or not. I seen him a little bit out there in the first half.
Yeah.
But I was wondering if he was going to go sit down or not.
Yeah, they sat him down.
They had it in hand.
You don't need him out there to mess him up. So that's a good thing. I like what Prime's doing, man. I love it. I love what he's doing up there.
Their defense has gotten better and better every week, man. And I'm like, they can make some noise, man, because these guys are really starting to buy in.
You got Warren Sapp up there. I mean, you got all these people that's helping. I mean, yeah, you ain't got no choice but to learn something.
Right, yeah.
Hey.
For sure. And the biggest game of the day, which really wasn't big for me, number 5 Georgia 30 at number 1 Texas 15. Texas was favored by 5 in this game, and the over and under was 55.5. They didn't reach that over, and Texas did not cover. What's your thoughts on that game?
Well, I spoke to you last week about that, and I told you, I said, in my opinion, the SEC is really Alabama and Georgia. Texas was in there, moved into the SEC, and they were number 1. I said, okay, well, Georgia took the loss to Alabama, so they're going to come in there and play extremely well. And then didn't y'all beat Georgia last year in Georgia?
We beat Alabama last year.
Yeah.
Alabama.
Yeah, I said Georgia's going to come in there, and they're going to play a heck of a game. And their defense showed out, man.
Defense showed out.
The kid, Ewers, they brought Manning in there. He had a lot more athleticism. So I thought y'all might go back to him But once they kept blitzing Ewers, man, he was like a deer in headlights, man. To me, he looked like he was a little, he was rattled, man. And once you take those hits, man, yeah, it's gonna make you think. And that's what Georgia did. They put their pressure on him, man. So I don't know how they're going to move going forward. If they're going to do what they did, because I think they was probably considering bringing Manning back in there again, because his athleticism would have offset a lot of stuff yesterday, in my opinion. But they didn't bring him back.
Yeah.
They didn't bring him back. I don't know what that was about, but Texas will rebound from that. So you got to believe. Sarkisian's he's a good coach. He'll get them back ready. There's not they didn't. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna fall, but maybe 2 spots at that. So maybe 1. Who knows? But they'll definitely come back, and it'll be a I don't know can they meet. Is it possible they can meet again in the SEC championship?
Yeah, SEC championship game. Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm calling. I'm calling it right now. They'll see Texas again, and Texas will they'll win the SEC championship. Kind of like I think with the Buckeyes and Oregon. Ohio State and Oregon will probably end up beating each other again once Ohio State goes into Penn State and knocks them down, because Penn State is going to be a player in the Big Ten for sure. They're trying to get over the hump. If Ohio State goes in there and handles business against Penn State, they'll see Oregon again in the Big Ten championship. And the same with Texas and Georgia. They'll see Georgia again. I think they'll get Georgia the second time around.
Yeah, when I did my preseason predictions, that's the way I had it going. I had Georgia beating Texas in Austin like they did yesterday, and then I had them meeting again in the SEC championship and Texas beating them. I think a lot of people had it that way too. That was the only loss that I had Texas having this season in my preseason predictions. You were spot on about Quinn Ewers was like a deer in headlights, man. They put pressure on him from all angles too, and it was like he didn't know where the hell it was coming from. All he knows he was shook.
He was trying to go. He was just looking for his check downs every time. I'm like, man, you got to look down. I understand you ain't got time to look down the middle of the field, but he was going straight to his check downs. I'm like, wow, they got him out of. I thought they would bring Manning back. I'm like, man, Manning would have probably gave y'all a little better with that, like running around, because he's like a lot more athletic. But they didn't go back to him, so I don't know. Maybe they just said we'll go ahead and stick with Ewers and see what happens. But y'all still had a chance. I thought y'all when y'all had that first score and got the 2-point conversion, I said, here they come. And I don't know, a few unfortunate things happened to where they got y'all off the field, and then it's like once they got that next score, well, really with the one play where they called the defensive pass interference, where it had the crowd enraged. Yeah, I can feel the crowd. They played a big part in overturning that. And to me, you should be able to challenge calls like that, man. If you can challenge certain things, you should be able to challenge, because that was a real big turning point in that game. And the crowd wasn't having it.
Yeah, that was pissed.
I ain't never seen nothing like that, man. They littered that field with all kinds of bottles and stuff. I said, wow. And the ref that made that call, you could see him on the field. He was ready as a plum, brother. I said, yeah, he's a nervous man right now. So they went and overturned the call, man. It was crazy. I've never seen nothing like that. I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah.
I said the crowd did that. So yeah, it was that's the game I really paid close attention to. So, in my opinion, when y'all play them again, it's gonna be a good game. But Texas will come out on top that second time around.
Yeah, KT was saying that Georgia's offense didn't look good to him. And their offense really, I mean, we got 3 interceptions of Carson Beck. I don't think their offense looked good either. The thing that hurt us was when it was 23-15, and we had them on their 9-yard line. It was 3rd and 11, bro.
Right.
And they didn't send no pressure after him. I said, dude, what are you? And then you got your defensive backs was like 2 yards off of him. I said, dude, what are you doing?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, like pressure this dude, make him get it out of his hands early and tackle the dudes. You got to get 11 yards. Just tackle him.
Makes you wonder. I say, people don't like to hear me say this, but I'm going to leave it alone. But yeah, it makes you wonder. That's all I'm going to say. You know, you got to bring pressure. I mean, Beck was rattled too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was rattled too.
So, like I said, I know it's in my opinion, it'll be a rematch, and y'all, we'll see. We'll see sooner than later. So Texas don't have nothing to, it was a big game in your stadium, and you love to win those games, but sometimes you learn more from a loss than you do a win. So we'll see how they come back. We'll see how they come back from it. Who's their next game against? Texas.
We go to Vanderbilt next week. We go to Vanderbilt, so that'll be a good contest for us because Vanderbilt playing some good football.
Vanderbilt, they're the ones that beat Alabama up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They beat Alabama and Kentucky.
Yeah, that'll be a good litmus test the next time out for Texas. So yeah, Vanderbilt better be ready. get an angry Texas. What do you think is going to happen with the quarterback situation? That's what I was really wondering, because I think a lot of the you think the coaching staff still has confidence in Quinn Ewers, or do you think they want to try Manning out? Because for them to make the switch when they did, that surprised me. I'm like, wow, that was a big deal.
I was surprised at that switch too, but I think they're going to stick with Quinn. He's a senior, his 3rd year. They know he's going on to the NFL. They don't want to mess up his stock with the NFL. They're going to try to get it as best as possible for him so that he can go to the league. And they know that Arch Manning got a year or 2 left to play on it, so I think they're going to go with Quinn as long as Quinn doesn't get hurt.
Right.
That's what makes him so shaky, man. He's scared to get hurt. He's been hurt every single season. He's missed time every single season. So when he's back there, man, he's nervous as all get out. He needs to toughen up his body, man, so that he can take some blows, man.
He's a lightweight. He does, but ain't nothing you can do now. The season is here. So, and I'm looking at Texas. Texas, man, they won a championship, just like Ohio State. The preseason. The prediction was that Texas and Ohio State would meet in the for the championship, and Texas would prevail. So I wouldn't be surprised if they was to go to the young kid. We'll see though. Stay tuned. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. You're right. You never know.
That's your team. Know. So we'll find out a lot this next game.
Yeah, I'll definitely be tuned in to all those Texas channels so that they can give me some insight on what's going on behind the scenes, because they got the behind the scenes connect. I don't. I got to listen to them.
Right, you got to get it from. So it's kind of like almost like my my professional team, my Pittsburgh Steelers. We got Justin Fields who's carried us to a 4-2 record. Could actually been 6-0. We lost 2 games by a total of 6 points. And he hasn't made too many mistakes, but people are just, they're so spoiled. I don't know what they're spoiled about, because our quarterback play has been atrocious the last few years. So this kid comes in, and he's guided us to, possibly he's 4 wins, and he possibly could have been 6. We have Wilson on the team also. So now they're switching to Wilson tonight, which I'm just going to sit back and go with it, whatever. Justin's humble, and he's handling it the right way. So, hopefully it works out. I don't know. But that's the situation at Texas kind of reminds me of that, because you got this superstar rookie in Manning who's sitting behind Ewers, and it's like, man, I know a lot of people are clamoring for Manning to be there, man.
Yeah, they are.
Just with his lineage, man, with the man, it's people like, man, we want him in there, but Ewers was there first, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm definitely gonna pay attention to that one, because Texas is who I'm looking at, is who we're gonna have to eventually see as a Buckeye. I'm like, yeah, so we'll see how everything goes, man. I'm excited for what's to come.
Yeah, I sure hope so, because, like you said, you learn more from a loss than you do a win.
Yep.
And I'm hoping that those coaches that Texas has can understand. Listen, this is what we need to fix. We need to get this corrected, so that way, whenever we do meet Georgia again, and if we do in the SEC championship, we can get that win. Then we can get into the 12-team playoff and go on and possibly face Ohio State and see how it goes. From there.
There it is, man. That's pretty much it. Even as fans, we sometimes we get caught up, and we think you're mad at this kid or that kid, but it's a game. It's a tough game, man. You got to look at it like these kids is out there landed on the line, and it's a tough game. They're young and they're out there taking those hits and whatever. And you got to just look at it like, hey, this team was better today, man. They did the work and they got the win. So we got to learn from that and see what we can do to get victory the next time around, because that's a good thing. You definitely gonna have a second chance at it right now. That one loss don't hurt you too bad.
Yeah. They definitely control their own destiny. They just got to keep winning.
Sir, yes, sir.
All right, cuz. Well, I appreciate you jumping on with me so we can get through this recap of Saturday's action in college football. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for mosque, and then I'm gonna come back and watch me some NFL.
Yes, sir, man. It's good jumping on here. I know it's been a while, man, but I try to get on when I got the energy to get up and get out here. So like I said, the marathon had me up this morning, so yeah, I wanted to get in and get on and say something, and come on with you. I wish some other guys would have been here, but hey, it's always good just me and you, man. It
Oh,
worked.
for sure.
Man.
For sure. We had a good time.
Hey, sir. So with that, man, good luck to your team, your NFL team, and I'll talk to you next time around, man. Be blessed.
All right, you too, bro.
All right. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right.